to our series where we're talking about culture. Daisy, do you know what day it is today?
Yes, today is International Women's Day.
What is International Women's Day?
Well, International Women's Day is a day where we celebrate women and all their amazing accomplishments and everything they've done.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Today is really exciting because we're going to be learning about all the accomplishments of different women who come from different cultures. So we're going to be reading a really fun book and looking at many different examples of different women who's accomplished amazing things in their lives.
Okay, now we're going to read a book called The Little Feminist that showcases a bunch of different women from different cultures that did amazing things in history. Cleopatra may have lived more than 2,000 years ago, but her reign as the last queen of Egypt is not forgotten. It wasn't only Cleopatra's beauty and gold that made her powerful. She was creative, clever, and knew how to get things done. When plotting to capture the Egyptian throne, Cleopatra wanted the Roman Emperor Julius Caesar to be on her side. But there was one problem. She wasn't allowed to see him. Did Cleopatra complain? No. She wrapped herself in a rug and had it delivered to him in secret. The emperor was so impressed with this sneaky trick that he agreed to help her become Egypt's queen. Cleopatra went on to rule the richest kingdom in the world for more than 20 years. People called her the Queen of Kings and treated her like a goddess.
Sacagawea. 200 years ago, the path to the Pacific Ocean wasn't mapped, but explorers Meriwether Lewis and William Clark changed that. They traveled from Missouri to Oregon thanks to one very important person, Sacagawea, a 16-year-old Native American girl. Over 18 long months, Sacagawea helped make trade deals with Native American tribes and found edible roots and berries when there was no other food. She even saved the whole Lewis and Clark expedition by rescuing important supplies when a canoe tipped over in the middle of a river. Sacagawea did all this while caring for her baby boy, who was strapped to her back during the 3,700-mile journey. Sacagawea's bravery was not forgotten. Dozens of American parks and rivers are named in her honor, and her face appears on the gold dollar coin.
Before Frida Kahlo, no woman painted her feelings so honestly. But Frida's story of becoming one of Mexico's most famous artists began with an accident. When Frida was a teenager, she was in a terrible bus crash that changed her life. She broke many bones and had to stay in bed for months. To pass the time, Frida started painting self-portraits. She never stopped. She painted herself with her beloved pet monkeys and parrots when she felt happy, and she painted herself in pain when she felt sad. While her colorful art might look like a strange dream, to Frida, it was the world as she saw it. No matter what, Frida always said, "Viva la vida." It means live life, and that is exactly what she did with her art.
Katherine Johnson. A man may have walked on the moon, but it was a woman who helped put him there. Her name was Katherine Johnson. Before computers, NASA, the American space program, counted on people like Katherine to solve difficult mathematical problems. Katherine could predict where a spaceship would land by calculating its speed and the moon's orbit. Unfortunately, not everyone saw her brilliance right away. She lived at a time when women and Black people were often overlooked. But Katherine knew her work was important. She spent several years working out math problems to make sure the Apollo 11 spaceship landed on the moon and carried the astronauts safely back to Earth. Thanks to Katherine, the American space program really took off. Junko Taibei. Junko Taibei was the first first woman to stand on top of Mount Everest, the tallest mountain in the world. When Junko was 10 years old, she hiked her first mountain and loved it. She kept climbing snow-capped mountains all over Japan, where she lived. As Junko grew, she longed for even more adventure and set her sights on Mount Everest. Junko knew she could conquer Everest's steep rocks, freezing winds, and icy ridges. Junko set off with her all-women team, the Ladies Climbing Club. Along the way, an avalanche buried her under the snow. She had to be pulled out by her ankles. Still, she continued climbing. Junko never stopped reaching for the top, scaling the highest peaks in more than 70 countries.
Okay, so now we are going to do a little coloring activity just to celebrate International Women's Day and to highlight some very important women in our life. So what you can do is you can, color it in, and then you could pick a really important woman that in your life that has inspired you or that's just really important to you. And you can put a picture of them here, or you could draw them and color them. And then maybe at the bottom here, you could write just a list of maybe some other important women in your life that have inspired you and helped you become the beautiful person that you are today. Ariane, do you know who you are going to draw today?
I think I'm going to draw maybe my mom and my sister.
That's an amazing idea.
Do you have an idea of who you're going to draw, Daisy?
I think that I might draw my best friend because she has been very important to me and has helped me through some really tough times in my life, and she's always been there for me no matter what, and she's taught me a lot.
That's so sweet, Daisy. After you're done your sheet, are you going to give it to your best friend?
Ooh, I might.
I think that would be a really fun idea.
I think she would be very honored to know that I drew her.
I think so too. I think she'll feel pretty special that you thought of her on International Women's Day.
Yes. It's really hard to choose, though, who to draw because there are so many important women in my life. I could have drawn my mom or my sister or my grandma. There are so many people. I could have drawn you, Ariane.
Oh, that's so sweet, Daisy. I could have drawn you too.
Aw, thank you.
It would also be really cool to draw or write about some of the women we just read about in the book.
Ooh, that's a really good idea. Maybe there's a famous woman from history that has inspired you or that you think is really cool. You could draw them. And your drawing does not have to be very good. It can be just fun to do.
Something really interesting about the women we read about in our book was that they all came from different cultures.
It's true. Women from all different cultures can do amazing things, and they really do.
And it's great to talk about it this week because we, like last week, if you guys remember, have been talking about culture and all the really cool cultures in the world.
Ariane, do you have a favorite woman from your the book that we read?
That's a hard one.
It is.
I think my favorite was Junko Taibei.
Ooh, yes.
Because I think it's just so awesome that she climbed Mount Everest. And even when there was an avalanche and she was in danger, she still kept going and persevered.
It's really inspiring.
Mm-hmm. Was there someone that was your favorite from the book we read, Daisy?
Well, I know that we didn't read her page, but I'm fairly sure she's in the book. And I think that Ruth Bader Ginsburg is really inspiring.
Mm-hmm. I think so too. There are countless women who come from all different cultures that have done amazing things.
It's true. There are so many. It's hard to even count them all.
Mm-hmm. Famous women in history, but also women in our everyday lives.
Exactly.
Daisy, do you know a woman that's done something really amazing in your life? Someone you look up to, maybe?
Well, my mom has been a very important part of my life. She has always been there for me. And she's just really important because she takes care of me and takes care of our whole family. And she has done so much for us, and I'm so grateful.
That's awesome, Daisy. My mom is also really important in my life.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm going to remember her and give her extra attention today on International Women's Day.
Yes. Remember to give extra love and hugs and, thank the women in your life for always being there and for helping us be the people we are.
Yeah, today is a good day to let the women in your life know how much you appreciate them and all that they've done for you.
Yes, but also we should remember to do that every day because we don't need to just recognize and love them one day a year. We can do that every single day of the year.
You're so right, Daisy. All the things we learn about today, we can apply to our everyday lives.
Definitely. How's your drawing going, Ariane?
I have not started on the drawing yet. I am still coloring. How's yours going, Daisy?
Oh, pretty good. I'm not an artist, but it is looking okay.
I am not an artist either, so I hope my mom and my sister will still like it.
I'm sure they will love it, especially the fact that you thought of them for International Women's Day. And even if you wanted to print out more than one and draw many people, that is a really good idea too.
That's an awesome idea, Daisy. And then you can give them to so many different women in your life.
Exactly.
So remember last week we were talking about that really exciting cookbook we were creating? Well, if you haven't had a chance to submit your recipes to the cookbook, you still can. And now you'll be able to recreate all of SSUC's recipes that come from different cultures. So today, Daisy and I created our own recipes that we put in the cookbook to represent our cultures that you guys can try at home too. So Daisy, what did you make?
I made some Nanaimo bars, which are some classic Canadian desserts. And here they are. Ariane, what did you make?
That looks awesome. Do they taste good?
They taste pretty good, if I do say so myself. Ariane, what did you make?
Well, technically my mom made it, but she made some kueh dadar, which is a Malaysian dessert. So they're little green crepes that taste like vanilla, and inside has some coconut and brown sugar.
That sounds absolutely delicious.
They're really good. They're my favorite. And I hope you guys have fun making them at home.
Yeah, I can't wait to share these with you guys, and hopefully you guys can make them and love them as much as we do. Goodbye, everyone.
See you next week.
We hope you enjoyed this episode, and happy International Women's Day. Bye.